Key Bible verse: Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10a, NIV. Hey everyone, welcome back to Verve's devotional. It's Verve, and I'm so glad we can share this moment together. Today we're diving into a verse that might feel incredibly familiar, yet it holds such profound depth. Be still and know that I am God. It sounds so simple, almost like a gentle invitation to a quiet moment. But when we peel back the layers, especially when we look at the original language, it takes on a whole new dimension. The Hebrew word for be still in this verse is rapha. While it can mean to be still or quiet, it also carries connotations of to slacken, to let go, to release, to cease striving, even to be weak or to let your hands drop. Isn't that fascinating? It's not necessarily about entering a Zen-like state of perfect meditative silence, though moments of quiet are certainly valuable. Instead, it's a call to release our tight grip on our circumstances, our worries, our plans, and our frantic efforts to control everything. It's an invitation to let our hands fall to our sides, metaphorically speaking, acknowledging that He is God and we are not. In a world that constantly screams at us to do more, be more, achieve more, this command to rapha, to let go, to cease striving, feels almost countercultural, yet it's precisely where true peace and understanding of God begin to flourish. It's an active surrender, a conscious choice to stop our own machinations and allow God to be God in our lives. Now, let's consider the powerful context in which this command is given. Psalm 46, where we find this gem, isn't a picture of a serene, peaceful afternoon in a meadow. Far from it. The psalm opens with declarations of God as our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. It then paints a picture of cosmic upheaval. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. Psalm 46:2-3. Nations are in uproar, kingdoms are falling. Verse 6. It's in the midst of this chaos, this world-shaking turmoil, that God speaks, "Be still and know that I am God." This transforms the meaning dramatically, doesn't it? He's not saying be still when everything is calm and predictable. He's saying, in the very eye of the storm, when fear is clawing at your throat, when the foundations of your world seem to be crumbling, that is the moment to let go, to cease your frantic efforts, and to remember who I am. This is incredibly reassuring for those of us facing our own personal earthquakes, whether they are anxieties about the future, relationship struggles, career uncertainties, or health concerns. God's call to be still is not an invitation to ignore reality, but a strategy to navigate it with Him as our unshakable anchor. It's a reminder that even when everything around us is shaking, He remains sovereign and in control. So what does it practically look like to be still or to rapha in our everyday lives, especially when our minds are racing a mile a minute and our to-do lists are endless? As someone who has walked through the valley of anxiety, I can tell you it's an ongoing practice, a gentle but firm redirecting of the soul. It means consciously choosing to stop the frantic inner monologue that fuels worry. It means identifying those areas where we're white-knuckling control and intentionally loosening our grip, entrusting them to God. It might look like turning off the noise, the constant barrage of social media, news updates and other distractions, for a dedicated period each day to simply sit in His presence without an agenda. It's about creating space in our crowded lives for our souls to breathe and to listen. This isn't about laziness or apathy. It's about a profound shift in reliance. It's admitting our human limitations and acknowledging His divine capabilities. It's saying, God, I've done all I can, or perhaps I'm striving in areas where I should be trusting. I now release this to You. I will cease my striving, my worrying, my overthinking, and I will let You be God. This active surrender is where the battle against anxiety is often won, not by fighting harder in our own strength, but by resting more deeply in His. And this leads us to the second, equally vital part of the verse, and know that I am God. The stillness, the letting go, is the pathway to a deeper knowing. This isn't just an intellectual acknowledgement that God exists. The Hebrew word for know here is yada, which implies a deep, personal, experiential knowledge, often built through relationship and encounter. It's the difference between reading a biography of someone and having an intimate friendship with them. When we cease our striving and quiet our inner chaos, we create the space to truly perceive God, to recognize His hand at work, to understand His character more profoundly, to hear His gentle whisper. We begin to know His faithfulness not just as a theological concept, but as a lived reality. We see His power not just in grand biblical narratives, but in the subtle workings of our own lives. We experience his peace, that peace that transcends all understanding, which can only come when we truly relinquish control and rest in his sovereignty. This kind of knowing builds unshakable trust. It's in these moments of stillness, when we let go of our own agendas, that we can truly comprehend his majesty, his love, and his complete adequacy for every situation we face. The world might be raging, but in that quiet place of surrender, we come to know with certainty that he is God, and he is good. So how can we cultivate this life-giving practice of being still and knowing God more deeply? It starts with small, intentional steps. Perhaps it's dedicating the first few minutes of your day, before the rush begins, to simply sit in silence with a cup of coffee, offering your day and your worries to him. Maybe it's taking short stillness breaks throughout your day, pausing to breathe deeply and recenter your thoughts on his presence. It could involve journaling, not just your activities, but your anxieties, and then consciously writing a prayer of release for each one. Or maybe it's spending time in nature, allowing the beauty and grandeur of his creation to remind you of his power and his care for you. Remember, this isn't about achieving perfection in stillness, but about the posture of your heart, a heart willing to let go, to trust, and to seek him. As we practice this rafa, this intentional releasing, we create the fertile ground for yada, that deep, intimate knowing of our Heavenly Father. And in that knowing, we find not only peace for our souls, but also the strength and wisdom to navigate the complexities of life with a calm and confident heart, assured that he is indeed God, and he holds us securely in his hands. Let that be our prayer and our practice this week.